All right, good morning. It is Friday, January 30th. On my way to work right now. Simple life philosophy. Just trying to get better every day. Trying to keep life simple, trying to improve. Um, as I've said before, the meaning of life is just getting better, leaving this world better than we found it. And that's just to do that, to fulfill that purpose. Obviously, we're all very unique. We all have different ways we can contribute to our communities, to society as a whole. So yeah, you just got to find your own unique abilities, what you gravitate towards, and create. Learn how to create, and learn how to create with that inner light inside you. The last thing you want to do is be in survival mode and just trying to lie, cheat, and steal to get along, and you know to improve your life and to sustain yourself. If you can find a way to fulfill your purpose and sustain yourself, that's the way to be. For me, I've had a difficult time of it because I just addiction got me from an early age, and so I'm just continuing to battle my addictions. Luckily I feel like I've really conquered drugs and alcohol at this point in my life. I'm still tempted sometimes, but for the most part I've stayed clean, and I'm proud of myself in that realm. And I think right now it's just about controlling the entertainment, getting back to reading and writing. Because as a child, I never read anything. I didn't see the value in reading. I didn't see the value in learning and the value of growing. I really gravitated to video games, and I was a gamer back in the day, and it was just a cycle of that. Like when I wanted to feel better, I either gamed or was surfing AOL for basically corn. You know what I mean? And that's a teenage kid, or even before a teenager, I was into that. You know what I mean? So just to kind of give you a little bit of how old I am, AOL was like how we exchanged photos back in the day. I remember having like a floppy disk of images and things. It's crazy to think about. But health has always been really super important to me, and it was really always just kind of maybe even on a narcissistic way, but just body health. But I always wanted to feel good. I want to feel good about who I am, and the mind health has always been a struggle, and that's where I feel like last year I've really committed to improving that part of me is just my mind and psychological health. And in doing so, I have to find what my purpose is and how I can create. And that's why I'm trying to show up and create these videos every day and just kind of figure that out and express, try to express my best self and see if I can help myself and in turn help others do the same, or at least inspire that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I know there's a lot of corruption out there in the world. There's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of protests. There's a lot of just, I don't know, chaos and uncertainty, especially with the economy. And, when I try to look at it as a simple way, I mean, to keep this whole thing going on this planet, I mean, we just need food, energy, and water for the most part. Obviously there's utilities and, health and other, essentials in there as well. But I hope at this point we at least got that figured out, and then hopefully society and our leaders can reorganize ourselves to be a lot more efficient and get rid of all this just corruption. I mean, I just feel like corporations, and you could say the government, you could say just so many things are just designed to poison you, both literally and indirectly. Whether it's with food and water to be poisoned, or it's just with your mind, through images and social media and attention, attention seeking, videos and platforms and just the news. I mean, I'll never forget a quote. The president of Fox News said, and this was years ago, but he said, "We're not a news medium." The president of Fox News said, "We're not a news medium. We're an advertising medium." So what does that tell you? I mean, they're not trying to report news to you. They're trying to keep their viewers so they can sell advertisements in those commercial breaks. And they designed their quote unquote news and opinions, and this is not just obviously isolated to Fox News. This is all news. This is all media. This is all channels. This is all apps. Like everything that you look at, everything that you focus on, and everything that you put your attention on is designed to keep your attention. It's designed, and to play around with the chemistry in your mind and body to stay focused on whatever it is you're consuming. So like if you're a business, what do you want? I mean, of course you want new customers, but a business, what do they rely on? They don't rely on new customers. They rely on repeat business. They rely on the repeat customers. So always keep that in mind. Try to find that discernment and that awareness inside you to really, I don't know, really intentionally consume and be careful. I mean, and get inside yourself and try to figure out what exactly you really want to consume. What exactly thoughts do you want to allow in your mind? I mean, I think we all have bad thoughts. We all think of the past. We all get stressed by the past. But I think it's you have to practice and just like catching those thoughts so they don't become your emotions and that it doesn't drag you down. Because I can tell you from myself, my own experience, when I think about my past, especially if I'm explaining my past or talking to a friend about it or a coworker. I mean, I don't like to do that, but that's why I don't like talking about my past, because it's like a different person. It's like someone I'm disgusted with. But when I do open up, oh my gosh, the emotions come back. The emotions of those moments come back, and it's hard. Maybe you can say I haven't really quite dealt with it, and maybe that's true, and that maybe just ignoring it is, not a really good way to confront those past, mistakes and whatnot, or regrets or shame and all that. But I'm not trying to ignore it, or I'm not encouraging you to ignore it. I'm just saying, like, acknowledge that that's just someone else, and that you're forging a new identity. You're commanding a new reality for yourself, and to move on from it. You learn from it. Allow the thoughts, like, oh, that thought came back. Label it, move on. That's not who you are anymore. That's not the emotion you want to live in. So, anyways, it takes a lot of practice, and it's something that I still struggle with. I still struggle with it today. I still want to um, master my emotions and master my thoughts, master my attention, so that it's productive and in line with who I want to become and in line with the reality I want to manifest. But it's just, whew, man, I think it just takes a lot of time, effort, practice. It takes what it is. It takes repetition. It takes repetition. So, anyways, those are gonna be my words for today. I feel like that was a good little ramble and rant on my way to work. I hope you enjoyed it. I love comments. I love views. I love likes. Do all the things, please. And I just want to pass on blessings to you for even just watching this. And blessings and love to you. Much peace out there. Take care.